I was coaching at a previous club, Hall Green, very successful amateur club in Birmingham. And then I had a child with obviously my partner, so I decided to have a bit of time out. And then I seen Matt's partner, Danny, on Facebook. I had her as a friend through mutuals, and she had posted that obviously Matt had opened a shop, which is obviously all the stock that we now have. And then me and Matt just got chatting, started to come down, spoke to him. It was obviously more local to me.
What year?
I'm talking about before COVID. So about three and a half years ago now.
2020?
Yeah, around that time. So me and Matt had a good chat. Obviously told him my background in boxing. Obviously he started the brand, which is a boxing brand. And we basically just took it off from there, mate. And I basically said, why don't we get, a ring in here, some bags in here, and make it, a proper gym. And I believe that me and him working together could make something really good. And it's proven now that, Fortress is taking off. So, yeah, both, not only the brand, but, I've got amateur squad now, I've got professionals under my wing. So, yeah, really good.
I remember seeing Fortress wraps and seeing people I looked up to in Fortress.
Massive, mate.
Like, this is before I even started Notjustboxing.
Yeah, I mean, I say to Matt sometimes himself, like, he's not really one to be on the camera and stuff. He works a lot in the background. I say to him, like, you should be really proud of what you've created, because you got, Roy Jones Jr.'s wore him, Usyk, Lomachenko, some of the biggest names in the sport of war, your gear, like, and, something to be proud of. And now, obviously, we're sponsoring you and people like that, getting out a bit more. Yeah, it's really good for us.
So you've been a pro coach for how long now?
So recently, I'd only say a year now. Obviously, I've coached amateur for 7-8 years. So I used to coach. It's always been in my family, boxing. I chose football at the time when I was younger, but I still worked alongside my, for fitness, basically, still in and out of the boxing gym. My uncle was actually a very popular boxing coach. He's recently passed away. He actually started Frankie Gavin, who, as I know, you will be having on the podcast very soon.
Yeah.
He started his first gym. And then obviously what had happened is I started coaching my little cousins, and then I took them down to Hall Green Gym, where Frankie Gavin obviously is from, and the head coach there, Tom Cheney, me and him got along really well. Then he actually said to me, why don't you come and coach the amateurs here for me? And that's how it started, and I've learned a lot off him, worked with multiple national champions that we had there. And then obviously went and done my own thing myself. So yeah, really good.
And did you have any fights when you boxed when you were younger?
No, I used to spar, but I never actually competed, But I've always been one that's really studied boxing, always watched it, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I believe some people say you have to do the sport to obviously know some of the best coaches. Yeah, it's one of them grey areas. Do you know what I mean? There's a list of all these great coaches who have never actually competed. So I think it's more comes down to the bond with the fighter, how you get on, what he can do for you, what you can do for him, and obviously having someone that's coachable and believes in you and what you're doing.
And what's your goals as a coach?
Obviously, I've just recently started my own amateur affiliation. We've got it affiliated here. So I've got two good coaches here. Elise's dad, Pete Lynn, Dylan's dad, Chris Clift, who in their own right could be head coaches. So we've got a little team here, a small team. Obviously, it's a small gym, slowly. And then obviously, I've got Dylan Clift, who's just turned over pro. He's 2-0 now. I work with the likes of Elise sometimes when she's not a GB. I've got a good lad called Josh Rose, who's a 3-time national champion. He'll be possibly turning over. I've worked with Dennis McCann, obviously, who I'm good friends with. So as a coach, just steady. See how it goes. Still learning a lot, you know what I mean? I pick it up off other coaches where we go sparring and stuff. Still studying all the time, looking up to coaches. So, just go with the flow, see where we're at, hopefully produce some champions ourselves.
What coaches do you look up to?
Ben Davison is a big coach. As I see myself, he started pretty much how I started, kind of fell into it, rather than, was one that was really, in it from the start. He kind of had to prove a lot of people wrong. Do you know what I mean? He's someone to look up to, and look at the things he's doing now.
Well, he started off, everyone said, he helped Tyson Fury lose weight, that's it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
now all of a sudden,
he's
got
massive,
a roster of such good fighters.
And, you've only got to look at their success rate. It's very high. I like Shane McGuigan. I think he's someone who, every time a fighter goes to him, he improves them. So people like that.
And when you're studying fights and for fighters, do you watch it with the fighters, or do you try not to overcomplicate it?
No. So I'll watch it myself. I'll see where there's things that I believe that obviously we can work on and get success from. I'll then try and put that into the training. I will watch it sometimes with them just to show them little things if they're not really getting it. But I also like to work on my fighter's strengths rather than the opponent's weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And when you actually are looking at boxing tape, what things are you looking for your opponent?
So I'm seeing like whether a feint is triggering off feints and stuff, you know, where his hands are, his feet position, where does he go after he punches, just little things like that. And being like new to the pro game, a coach, I wouldn't say I'm a new coach because I've worked alongside Tom Chaney for a lot of the years, who obviously had Frankie Gavin his whole career. So, you know, I've learnt a lot, but I look for, just more like what can trigger them to, you know, as a response, and then obviously gain from that.
So what have you got going on with Fortress at the moment?
So at Fortress at the moment, obviously, you know, we do the fast wraps, which is obviously massive in the sports world right now. Boxing, MMA, we have a lot of stars wearing our stuff. The next little venture we're literally in the process of now is a fight glove. So hopefully, all being well, that gets passed off, and, you know, we get some of the big names to start wearing Fortress.
That's great news. So what are you running at the gym at the moment?
So we range from one-to-ones with obviously any level from beginner to professional. I have two other coaches here as well. One of them's Dylan Clift, who's a pro, and Declan Johnson, another guy who works out of here, very good lad. So we basically do one-to-ones for people. We have group sessions on, mixed adult classes, ladies only. We've got the amateur schedule running now, and obviously the pros come in on their times and do their workouts. So anyone looking for any fitness or, you know, wants to learn boxing, come and visit us here at Fortress.
Well, it's been great having you on. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, not really. I just thank you to being here. Obviously, we sponsor you now, and hopefully it just gets better and better for the brand, yourselves, and, you know, the gym and everything takes off, and we do really well.
It's still early days. It's still very early days.
Definitely, mate.
My name is Dennis McCann, professional boxer for Frank Moore and MTK Global. This is Fortress Boxing. A lot more protection. It's a no-brainer. Around your thumbs, around your knuckles, around your wrist. That's exactly where the problems are. They're very compact. So I feel like I'm punching hard with them on as well. And I feel like when you got sparring 14, 16 ounce gloves, the smaller wraps can't really. They're too small for the gloves. That makes sense. So these are a bit bigger, and they're getting the gloves a bit more. They're making them more compact.
1, 2, hook. Go.